What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I'm joined by Kagi and Toasty for a Resurrection F arc report card. Now, the reason we decided to do a report card, and I kind of wish we did this with the Battle of Gods arc as well, is because I kind of want to see where the community is standing with Dragon Ball Super thus far as we get into new stuff, because we know the new stuff is what we've been waiting for ever since the series was first announced, and we're finally there. We're finally over that hump of watching Battle of Gods and Resurrection F again, and I want to see how everyone's thinking. Actually, we should talk about Battle of Gods as well, so let's start there first. So on a regular scale, like in school, A, B, C, D, F, what do you guys rate the Battle of Gods arc? Comment it below. Let's start with Kagi. Kagi, Battle of Gods arc, what do you give it?
I would give it a B.
A B? Okay. What did you like? What did you not like?
I liked the expansion of shit, like the way that they transformed to a god. I'm like, okay, a god is being born. This is pretty badass. Like, there were some moments in it where, it's like, okay, I get it. They're fighting great. Because, like, when Goku first gets his god powers, it's like, okay, they're just beating the shit out of each other. Cool. Okay. But then, like, at the end, it's like, all right, you see, like, how powerful they've become, and, like, towards the end, like, I think it's, like, episode 12, episode 13, and I'm like, all right, not only that, the animation was really good for those episodes, so that's why I give it a B. It has its ups, it has its downs, and overall, it's Battle Gods.
Yeah. So. I think I'm going to give it a B, too, because, I'll probably give it a better rating had I not seen Battle of Gods. At this point, everybody who's watched both these movies will have that factor kind of reduce the score for the series so far. But I gotta say, them redoing Battle of Gods, they did a great job on it. And on top of that, the lighthearted stuff that they introduced as well was really cool, and ultimately led to an awesome fight that really showed off what it's like when two gods fight. So I gotta agree with you with that. Toasty, what you got?
All right, for Battle of Gods gets a C+, and possibly a B minus.
Why C+?
All right, C+ because when I'm counting Battle of Gods arc, I'm counting everything leading up from episode 1 to episode 14, because that's all of the Battle of Gods arc. So episode 5 is included, and episode 5, even though it was like a minimal fight in it, was dog shit. Like, we all know that already, and let's just get over that. It's dog shit. There were a lot of ups and downs, and like that was like episode 9, like some of the problems with the art and everything as well, even though that did have like a really good OST during that episode, and the entire thing was more expanded upon, as Kagi said. It was just a bigger deal. Like, in the movie, you got Goku becoming a god, and that was like, yeah, that's okay, that's cool, I guess. But in this one, it's an event. Like, the fucking clouds part, and like it starts hailing, raining, snowing. It's like there's a whole bunch of it's put out as a much bigger deal for Goku to become a god than it was in the movie. And
so is that a good or bad thing?
That's a good thing. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that they did that, because it makes more sense, because you are a god. Like, you're not gonna just, because like, if the thing is if it, like, because remember when Goku first went Super Saiyan on planet Namek, and
yeah, it was badass.
Yeah, and like the ground was shaking, waves were going around, like
lightning.
It was a huge, lightning was a huge deal. Like, but in the movie, they did it, and nothing really happened to the world. The world was just the exact same. And I would think that Super Saiyan God's transformation would be a much bigger deal than a normal Super Saiyan transformation. So that should have been changed in the movie, but here they actually changed it a lot to make it like more of a god thing, which was really cool. I like that.
It reminded me very much of like just watching the Hercules movie from Disney. I'm just like, kind of reminds me of that.
And they had like the godly music or whatever, like with the chanting and all that, which I kind of do like that they have those. But yeah, that was good. The fight with Beerus, the episode 11 is just a fantastic episode. That episode itself is the only one in the entirety of that arc that I would say is literally like one of the best episodes, in my opinion, of Dragon Ball. That was just an incredible episode, in my opinion.
In Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball?
In Dragon Ball in general, I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I love the shit out of episode 11, because it's like the entire episode itself is like a whole story. Like, there's always different dynamics and everything like that. The animation was really nice. Episode 13 also, because Yamamuro, who is the guy who does the art design for the show as well, he did the movies as well, he helped with the movies, he actually worked on the art and animation in that episode, and that episode was near movie quality, I would say. That episode was done beautifully, and that's when Goku became a Super Saiyan. I think you guys remember when that happened. That was beautifully done, and I love that. And I
got to point out that no one ever talks about how awesome designed or how awesome the animation is in that episode. Everyone likes to always knock the series for the 4 or 5 shots that happen throughout the series so far.
Like, people aren't wrong with the art and animation.
Oh,
like,
no, you're right.
Usually it is dog shit, but then there are some parts where it actually is really good, like episode 13, episode 11. But yeah, like.
So I guess the question I have for you is what took it away from you? Because you said you gave it a C+.
Okay, so what took it away was that there was a full episode of just straight, like, you know, as we already know, the oolong episode with the rock paper scissors, just slow, not needed to be filled in. That could have been that could have been 13 episodes instead of that, but you know, they instead decided to stretch it out, and that was just probably one of the worst decisions. I didn't like that. I did think that the Super Saiyan God ritual having its own episode was a cool thing, and I'm glad that that happened. But you know, there's just some stuff that was just like not needed. Like episode 4 wasn't needed to be a full episode on its own. The peel-off stuff, it stretched out itself way too much. And while the arc was good, it stretched itself out a lot. And
yeah, I think you bring up a good point, because the big complaint with Drama Super in the start was the pacing was really slow. But again, you can't blame us because we all watched Battle of Gods, so C plus makes sense.
Yeah.
So for Battle of Gods, we got B.
I have to add on that I really love the way that, because that would probably push it up to the B- because of Beerus's new attitude.
Yeah,
the way
I actually mentioned that.
Yeah,
that Beerus is just a straight up savage. Like he is a villain now. Like he's not like the guy that's like, whenever I feel like it, you know, it's like, oh no, bitch, I will fuck you up.
He's like, I am the god of destruction. Like he's not like a playful kind of guy like he is in Battle of Gods. He is a god of destruction, and that's more accentuated than shown in Battle of Gods in like version in Super. So I like that.
Yeah, I gotta admit, that's the thing that I like the most about the series. I mean, Beerus is my favorite character, so I'm a little biased towards it. But that was definitely my favorite part about the Battle of Gods arc. Like he was an actual savage. He acted like a god of destruction. And ultimately, it was. I had fun throughout the series, but I'm still gonna stick with the B. So for Battle of Gods, we got B, B, and C plus.
Actually, I wanna change mine to B minus, because I just remembered a specific scene in Battle of Gods, the arc, the fucking bitch slap to Bulma. That was just a little.
It was a little overdone, yeah.
I'm like B minus.
His eye like his Sharingan was acting up and shit. Like I'm like, hello. Like,
and the slow motion.
Yeah, and he's like, and then he like hello, like Vegeta. All right, listen, I get it. Bulma got slapped. You care about Bulma, but chill out, bro. Like,
while we're talking about emotions, let's also point out that the one thing that Arc didn't do well at all was when they announced that Videl was pregnant, because what happened in the movie was beautiful. It was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is a miracle.
It was a really touching moment in the movie, and then that kind of got it didn't really have that much weight.
No,
Super.
not at all. It was just like, oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, cool, bro.
Oh shit,
okay.
Really? Damn. All right.
You for real?
Oh shit.
All right, so B minus, and C plus are our ratings. Comment below what you guys.
It definitely did do ending better though. The ending was better than Battle of Gods.
Yeah.
I have to say. The ending was better.
Yeah. Well, they had to kind of make the ending kind of flow into the next movie, because originally Battle of Gods wasn't meant to continue, even though it left the doors open. But B minus, C plus is what we rate it. What do you guys think about the Battle of Gods are? Comment below. But now the real important part of our report card. The real reason why we got together to do this video is to talk about the Resurrection F arc, and I figured we'd toss in Battle of Gods as well, just because we didn't really get to talk about it before. Resurrection F arc. How about we start with Toaster here, because I feel like he has a lot more to say about this.
It gets a fucking D. D minus maybe. It's bad. All right. I know that a lot of you probably think, you know, Rhyme's too soft on Super, and maybe he is sometimes. I mean, he's a little soft-headed too, but yeah, like, I mean, the Resurrection F arc, even though when I reviewed it, I thought, you know, each episode was okay. I thought, like, you know, but when I watched them again, which is pretty much the most important part, when you watch something again, that's when you really see what it's like. The arc has been fucking dog shit, dude. All right, so let's be clear here. The arc is supposed to start episode 15, which is the Hercule episode, the one only about Hercule. And that part is kind of irrelevant to the actual arc itself, because it doesn't really matter in terms of the scope of the story. It's mainly like a filler episode. But then after that was Vegeta and Goku going to Whis' planet to train,
which was the best part.
Yeah, that is all of this arc as well. That is the best part of this arc. The Goku and Vegeta going to train with Whis on Beerus' planet, as well as them actually going into that new, like, room filled with God Ki. That is the best part of this arc entirely, because one, it's new. Two, it's actually a very decent, like, idea. I like the fact that it's like a room filled with God Ki, even though it's kind of like the hyperbolic time chamber, but in just a different way. I do like that, and I like the fact that, you know, them training in this room kind of, you know, helps them keep their power in. I like that a lot. I like the entirety of Whis' way of saying you have to keep all of your ki in for your base form to get stronger. I like that. But the second that Frieza shows up on Earth, it goes to pretty dog shit. Now, I like Tagoma. I love his voice actress, or actor even, because, you know, he's actually a voice in Gintama, which is like my second favorite anime of all time, maybe going to be first soon. And I love that nigga's voice. He's my favorite. He's one of my favorites. But sadly, in this, like, I thought he was going to be a lot more than what he was. And in this, everybody thought, Tagoma's going to be a much more big deal because Frieza didn't kill him. He just tortured him a little bit. And then he trained with Frieza, and everyone thought that was going to be the big deal. Like, Tagoma's going to be so much stronger now, and it's going to be crazy. First episode after Tagoma shows his power and laughs, he gets switched with Ginyu. And then Ginyu does really nothing. He pretty much just I mean,
and then he dies too.
I get it. He's supposed to be nostalgia for Dragon Ball, but come on, dude. It's not. It didn't even have any weight because the second Vegeta shows up in episode, what is it, 23 or 24? I think it's 24. The second Vegeta shows up, he just goes up to Ginyu and blows him away instantly. That's it. Like, they literally wasted that cool character concept and execution completely with that. And I get it. You may want to, have only Goku and Frieza fight and then Vegeta and Frieza fight, but think about it like this, guys. This is what I think, and I may make a video separately on my own channel about this just so I can, talk more about this on my own, but I think that it would have been so much better to keep Tagoma alive and not have Ginyu change with him. I think that the entire Ginyu thing was a waste of time and a waste of a character.
He literally is irrelevant.
Yeah, and a waste of a voice actor. Like, Ginyu is not important anymore. I'm sorry to say, you may have thought, what if it's a hole that's just covered up? He's a fucking frog. Like, leave him alone. And I think that having Tagoma stay alive and fight against everybody else, aka I would assume that Piccolo would stay alive instead. I mean, that scene with, Gohan and all that was actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the scene that Frieza was torturing Gohan, it was actually not bad, and all of that. And then Piccolo dying for him, that was trying to be a homage to Dragon Ball Z. And sometimes homages to Dragon Ball Z can be good or they can be bad. In this case, it's kind of detrimental to the story. I would have liked if Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, Tien, they all were alive and normal, and they were actually fighting alongside when Goku's fighting Frieza. Because right now, as we are seeing it, we just see Gohan, Krillin, Tien, Bulma, Jaco. They're all standing there watching Goku fight Frieza, and they're giving no real commentary to where it matters. Like, Gohan is really just a bystander now, and he's not doing anything. I think that it would have been much better to keep Tagoma alive and have that fight happen alongside the fight that happens with Goku and Frieza.
That would have been badass.
Vegeta and Frieza. That'd be a much more filling thing. First of all, because it would have been something new, because Tagoma is such an irrelevant character in the movie, and they kept him irrelevant here. That would have been such a better idea to have Tagoma stay and be powerful and fight against these guys, and then maybe at the end, near the end of the fight, maybe Tagoma loses to Gohan and all them. They get some sort of development. That would have been a lot better. Now, I'm not saying that you had to give Gohan fucking Super Saiyan God or whatever, but at least give some sort of background that's pretty interesting. I would like to see Goku and Frieza fighting, and that's okay, whatever. We already saw this in the movie. There's nothing really new here. But then it cuts to Gohan, Piccolo, Tien, Jaco, all of them fighting against Tagoma all at once. That would have been such a awesome thing, because first of all, we wouldn't have saw it because they're recapping the movies, and obviously they're not recapping the movies just to recap the movie. They're recapping the movies because it's stuff that they don't need to have any new writing for these. They just decide, whatever. They'll change some few things up, maybe try and make it interesting, but for most of these movies are the same. But they could have added that in. If they wanted to keep Tagoma alive, they should have kept him alive and had him do something. He didn't do anything, and that was probably the biggest disappointment of this arc for me, because they teased you. They teased you with yeah, we have some cool new stuff, man. We got Tagoma. He's powerful. He trained with Frieza. This is a big deal. You can't wait to see Tagoma and what he's gonna do in the next episode.
And then
switches him with fucking Ginyu. He dies in one hit by Vegeta. That's it. The only good thing that came out of that was that Vegeta killed every member of the Ginyu Force, but that's it. And it's just disappointing, dude. And then the fight with Goku and Frieza, as the current moment, as I'm saying, we are watching everybody else watch this fight, as well as seeing the fight a little bit from our own standpoint, but it's the same as the movie. We're really not getting anything different. So what point is there in even doing this? I get Battle of Gods, because Battle of Gods had real differences from the movie.
Yeah, I was going to point out.
Super Saiyan God the entire time in the movie, he only kept it for a few minutes until they went underground, and then he lost the power, and then he was a Super Saiyan. But in the Battle of Gods arc, they changed that, and then they went directly up into space, first episode. That was different. That was cool. Now we're getting the same fight, and there's none of the stuff that was universe-shattering. I know some people don't like the universe-shattering stuff. They think that that's pretty stupid, and I guess I could see where you're coming from with that. But if they're going to introduce that sort of thing here, it kind of contradicts it when two people, Goku and Frieza, especially Goku now after he's trained, and Frieza, who's presumably stronger, at least beforehand, than Goku, there should be something there's some destruction here.
Well, you could argue there that they have better. Well, Goku has better control over his power.
That's the thing, though. Like, do you remember in the movie where Goku and Frieza started fighting? Like, the first clash between Goku and Frieza, base Goku, or Saiyan Beyond God Goku, and Final Form Frieza. You remember when they actually clashed and the ground shattered under them? Mm-hmm. None of that happens in this movie. It's like they're fighting
in the show, in the series.
It's like they're fighting on Namek. Not even. There was I'm talking about in the movie, like when they first clashed in the movie, that was a big deal. But then in the show, it's not anything. In the show,
what I want to point out is
it's like a Dragon Ball fight. Like there's craters, but that's it.
What I want to point out is after the Battle of God saga and seeing how much better the fight was, the one thing I was hoping they would do is make this fight really, really awesome. At least kind of like draw it out and make it more interesting. But to be honest, you pretty much nailed it. Like I don't even have to say my point. Like everything you said was spot on. It's just they tried a couple things to make it different from the movie, but ultimately it ended up being a lot worse than the movie was. And because of that, I got to give it a D too. Wait, what'd you give it?
He gave it a D minus.
Yeah, I gave it a D minus.
Because I give it a D. Only because they brought back Frieza, and I like how they had Frieza Savage. Also, they kind of developed his character better than the movie did. But ultimately, everything else in the show was just too. It just wasn't as exciting. I mean, it's still like fun to watch, it's entertaining, but ultimately,
honestly,
you feel like compare it, it's just yeah.
Honestly, like I feel like the show should have taken note from the manga and just skipped over the entire thing. Because honestly, this arc is literally filler. I literally described it right before we started recording that this Frieza saga is literally like the Garlic Jr. saga.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, but nothing really happens, and no one actually gives a shit. Like, I mean, yeah, they're there for a movie, you know?
Yeah.
But that feels it should just be a movie.
Yeah, I mean, think about it like this, guys. You could actually have it so that you don't even need the Frieza movie. The Frieza movie itself, is an idea that literally has no plot concerning this grand scope of things. Like, Beerus changed the fucking game. He's a god of destruction, and he's a completely new character. And he reveals later that there are even more universes and more beings that are stronger than him and Whis. Like, that's a huge thing. They're expanding the universe. In this movie, they do nothing to increase the plot because Frieza's not a new villain. We already seen him. We know that he's going to probably end up dying at the end of the movie. He doesn't add anything besides...
He's actually doomed. He's doomed from the start.
Yeah,
because like even if he would have beaten Goku, Vegeta would have stepped up and finished him off. From the start, Frieza was doomed. So, but the thing is, I will point out that all of us here, we're not bashing the movie. We did enjoy the movie, and it was a lot of fun. It's entertaining, but ultimately, like what Toshi said, is it's just kind of like a filler. It's just there as an entertaining aspect. But the stuff that was introduced after Dragon Ball Z is better. Like with Beerus, the other universes and stuff. So the Champ arc is gonna be awesome. But ultimately, the Resurrection F arc just wasn't as great, just because they didn't execute that well. On top of that, it didn't look that great most of the time, and I'm just ready for new stuff. We're all ready for new stuff. Kagi, what rating do you give it?
The more I think about it, the more I'm with you guys. D. I was trying to be generous and give it like at least a C minus, but yeah, the more we talk about it, it's just like it's just so goddamn fucking depressing.
It's just blah, It's just like there's nothing here that really stands out to make it like really good. Like, the best I could say is, as I said before, the training with Goku and Vegeta, because that was new and that was interesting.
Yep.
But now we're getting, like, nothing that's really good. Like, I've rewatched every single episode since the Hercule episode over again, and I got nothing out of it. I don't feel anything, like, extra, like, or interesting has happened. Like, the only thing that we get out of this is that Goku and Vegeta have a new form, but that could have been handled in Universe 6. They could have just shown in the beginning about how Goku and Vegeta, after fighting Frieza, were able to attain this new power that's stronger than Super Saiyan God. They could have explained this all in the beginning. You know why? Because they even skipped it in the manga, and they were able to keep going with Goku and Vegeta with these new forms. They've already transformed in the manga. They've already done that a few times. Like, it just doesn't need to happen in the anime. There was no need for us to have a Resurrection F saga in the anime because there's no plot here that matters in grand scope. Like, nothing happens here. There's not even anything with Pan. Pan's not even here. No, there's Videl. Nobody's here that, like, would make the entire grand scope matter. Like, Gohan, like, the biggest thing that happened from Resurrection F, really, and I'm gonna be fucking real here because this is true. is the redesigns. That's it. You have Gohan getting redesigned, Bulma. You have Goku, Vegeta. You have a few redesigns that are, yeah, they're good. They're good redesigns. I don't have a problem. Anyone's new redesign besides Gohan, because I personally don't like the jumpsuit and everything. But that's really the most that you get out of the movie. You get that in the new form, and that's really all you need to know. That's it. Like, it's not even really the show's fault itself. It actually is, because it decided to adapt a movie that had no plot anyway. But man, they just decided to add nothing to it, which made it even worse.
And I know people are going to bring this up, but they did try to answer a couple questions that weren't really answered in the movie. And they did some stuff kind of good, but others not really. So they could have done a better job also explaining a lot of the holes that were given to us with the movie. Now, also, if you guys remember, this movie was written a long time ago, too. I think this movie was written before Battle of Gods itself. So there's also that to kind of think about, which is like why this movie is a little bit more wonky when it comes down to like figuring out the timelines and all that stuff. So it makes sense. But I mean, I agree with what basically the Toasty show here kind of like spilled both mine and Kagi's.
I mean, if you watch Comment's video yesterday, I did this a lot too. I just
yo, this went from being Ryan's video to being Toasty's video real fucking.
He pulled the words right out of my mouth. I mean, thing is with Dragon Ball, I enjoy it every single week. You know, no matter how crappy the animation can get or how awesome it can get, I still have fun watching it. Even if I'm rewatching it, but ultimately when I'm like trying to analyze this and really think about what's happening and how it compares to the past and stuff. This is where I give it. You know, it's a D for me. You know, Frieza is my favorite villain, which is why I'm giving it kind of a better rating than an F. And like I said, my favorite part was definitely the training as well. But outside of that, I'm ready for this to be over with. I want to get into the Shampoo arc, and I'm hoping that, you know, Dragon Ball Super really delivers an awesome story with what's to come next. So we got, what you said, D-, D, and what'd you give it, Kagi?
D.
A D2? All right, the 3 Ds. Yeah. So comment below your thoughts on everything we said on both Battle of Gods and
Resurrection. This video, because you would have been able to add another D, and he is called Big D, so there you go. I mean,
that's funny. I'm pretty sure you would give it a D2. I'm going to text him after this to see what he says. Yeah. But let us know your thoughts, what rating you give it as well, and why, what you like, didn't like. Basically, it's a chance to talk about it. Remember, we're not bashing Dragon Ball Super. I want to kind of toss a disclaimer out there, because I know there's going to be those people that are going to be like, oh my god, you guys are just bashing it. No, we're just giving us our thoughts on it. End of the day, we still enjoyed. We all loved Resurrection F, the movie. We all enjoy watching this show on a weekly basis. I mean, we watch it freaking
we say good
live.
Things about the Battle of God saga. Like, it's good. It's
yeah,
not,
it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a joy to watch, for me at least, but the Resurrection F arc has just been a...
Yeah, exactly, pretty much.
Why?
Why?
You could have skipped it.
Remember,
it's so much better.
January 24th, Shampoo arc starts officially, and hopefully we're going to get some pretty exciting new stuff. It's going to be a new journey for all of us, so let's see how our thoughts and opinions change on Dragon Ball Super once we get into that. But for now, rate below what you guys think about it, and I guess we'll take it from there. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we end this?
No, just Toei. Don't ever expand on this arc or any of this saga thing. Like, just don't expand on fucking. Like, don't ever expand on this movie, because this movie doesn't have anything there to begin with for you to expand on. Like, I mean, you could have tried and expanded on it with Tagoma and stuff, but even if the Tagoma thing stayed, I think it would have been I would say a C+ at best. Like, I don't even think that I think it would have gotten a C. I mean, like, the thing is that it's just such a simple plot that you know what's going to happen anyway. Like,
yeah.
There's no
I mean, like I said, Resurrection F is just a fun movie to watch, but if you try to, like, think about if you really think about it, it's just a lot of issues with it. You know, I made a video with the top flaws of Resurrection F that I will link in the description below if you guys want to check it out as well. It's really old, but it's entertaining, but it's, like I said, it's missing a lot of stuff that would make it an amazing story. But we already talked a lot. This is a pretty long video. I thought it was gonna be like 10 minutes long. So hopefully you guys made it this far.
Toasty would not shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry.
Hashtag the Toasty Show if you made it this far in the video in the comments below. Let's see how many people will tag it. And I guess let us know your thoughts. Leave a like below. Check out Toasty and Kagi. And we'll see all you awesome Super Saiyans in the comment section below.
Just skip Resurrection F.
Please.